What is the meaning of deforestation? Deforestation is the removal of a forest or stand of trees from land and using that land for other purposes. On average, 2,400 trees are cut down each minute. Between 15 million to 18 million hectares of forest, an area the size of Bangladesh, are destroyed every year. The term most often relates to the clearing of trees by humans, but natural reasons such as floods and forest fires can also bring down the trees. Now, we will study the causes of deforestation. The causes of deforestation are multiple. Some of them are man-made and others are natural. Firstly, we will study man-made causes of deforestation. Number one, agriculture is the main reason of deforestation globally. Growing global population and increased food consumption has led to many forests being converted into farms. Number two, procuring land for mining, construction of dam reservoirs, transport and infrastructure projects. Third, building houses and factories. Fourth, making furniture, paper or using wood as fuel. Fifth, some corrupt government employees are also involved in illegal cutting of trees for money. Now, we will see what are the natural causes of deforestation. Number one, forest fires. Number two, severe droughts. Consequences of deforestation. We cut down more than 15 billion trees each year. As per estimates of the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, over 1 billion acres of forest land has been converted for other uses such as mines, cattle grazing and industries since 1990. The loss of trees causes harm not only to the environment itself, but it also affects animals including humans. Let us study the consequences of deforestation. Number one, loss of habitat and food of millions of animal and plant species. This is the most devastating effect of deforestation. About 70% of land, animals and plant species live in forest and get their food and shelter from there. So deforestation may lead to death or extinction of certain species of animals and plants due to very high temperature, shortage of food and no shelter. Once a species becomes extinct, it cannot be recovered. This picture shows how the deforestation is adversely affecting the wild animals. Number two, increase in droughts. In deforested areas, less evaporation takes place, resulting in the formation of fewer rain clouds. There is less water in the air to be returned to the soil. Subsequently, there is a decline in rainfall, subjecting the area to drought. Water cycle gets interrupted, leading to droughts. Third, increase in temperature and global warming. We know that plants and trees use carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Fewer trees would mean that less carbon dioxide will be used up, which will result in increased amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. This will lead to increase in the temperature of the earth and global warming as carbon dioxide traps the heat rays reflected by the earth. This picture shows that about 20% of global warming is caused by deforestation. Fourth, desertification. Trees help the land to retain water and topsoil, that is, trees prevent soil erosion. Soil erosion means removal of the top layer of the soil which is fertile. Fewer trees result in more soil erosion. The top layer of soil gets eroded by wind and water. So fertile lands will soon get converted into deserts. It is called desertification. This picture shows an area where there are no trees and it looks like a desert. Fifth, floods. Roots of trees help the soil to absorb water. Cutting of trees leads to less absorption of water in the soil. During heavy rains, the water will flow into rivers causing floods. Next, shortage of certain products. We get many products like fruits, honey, wood, medicines, etc. from trees and plants. We will face shortage of these products if we continue cutting trees. 7. Human wildlife conflict. As their habitat dwindles, animals are forced to search for food and shelter outside their traditional forest range and move into areas populated by humans. Threatened encounters with wild animals like elephants, dangerous snakes, and big cats occur in and around degraded forest areas. Conflict, conflict between humans and forest elephants is common, particularly in Asia. In Indonesia, a series of tiger attacks on illegal loggers made headlines in 2009. This picture shows how the deforestation is leading to human wildlife conflict. Next, emerging diseases. According to World Economic Forum, 31% of emerging diseases are linked to deforestation. According to a major study by American and Australian scientists, degradation of ecosystems increasing the risk of new outbreaks. Examples of emerging diseases are rabies, Ebola virus disease, bat associated viruses, etc. AIDS and malaria are also probably linked to deforestation. This table shows that the main cause of emerging diseases is linked with land use change, that is deforestation. 9. Adverse effect on indigenous communities. Deforestation is also adversely affecting indigenous communities who depend on the resources provided by rainforests. Since we are part of a highly industrialized world, we will never truly understand how much deforestation has affected indigenous people and their ways of living. These two pictures depict the simple life of indigenous communities who are dependent on forest for their day-to-day requirements. Indigenous population means those communities that live within or are attached to geographically distinct traditional habitats or ancestral territories and generally maintain cultural and social identities and social, economic, cultural, and political institutions separate from the mainstream or dominant society or culture. Are home to about 70% of the world's land-based plant and animal species. But it is a matter of great concern that we are losing forest at an alarming rate. The most devastating effect of deforestation is loss of habitat and food of millions of animal and plant species. It is true that living things on Earth can adapt to their surroundings, but it does not mean that this can happen overnight. Deforestation is occurring too quickly, which leads to the loss of many plants and animals. Wild forests such as the Amazon are beautiful and amazing places in which many different kinds of exotic plants and animals are found. According to World Economic Forum, 31% of emerging diseases are linked to deforestation. It is the need of the hour to stop rampant deforestation to save our ecosystem and to prevent many species from becoming extinct. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course.